I do have to share that it's really not much difference than making love for the afterglow the iTeraCare gives you after an hour of use. Oh my God. You know, it's such a great, fantastic, feel-good tool. And, you know, some would say it's doing one thing or another. Who knows what it's doing? But I'll tell you this, it feels really amazing. Like, I literally just feel like I made love for like an hour. Oh, it must be doing something amazing because my voice is remaining very strong for a long time. And I used to really struggle with my voice remaining strong. And, you know, Chinese medicine would share that the kidneys and, you know, we're not holding enough energy because it's the kidneys that create the basin for the diaphragm to expand into, okay? And so the kidneys aren't holding that space and that security. The diaphragm can't expand downwards to expand the lungs, and with the lung expansion to then give rise to the voice. But also in that is the kidney yang, Y-A-N-G, which the iTeraCare has been proven in their video to say it raises the yang energy. I forget how they stated it exactly, but it raises the yang energy. And by raising that yang energy, when you hear somebody's voice very strong, that's a audible indicator that the yang energy of the kidney in the body is strong. So it's like, you know, I share with you that I would like to, and I am, I guess now, making videos about how to know where you are at when it comes to your body due to how things sound, how things look, where somebody's at and all that, where they're at in their mental, emotional state. So here we go. All right, I guess we're going into this morning. This is what happens when you feel really good. You know, it's like all this energy flows out and all this exuberance and happiness just comes. And, you know, that I would have to say is absolutely due to the iTeraCare and shifting whatever it's doing. Okay, let's just leave it with that. It just gets you feeling really good and really strong and really powerful and really clear and really on. And stepping into the more subconscious experience, I would share with you that I feel less held back, more fearless, more open, with more energy, more clear, less pullback, less worry, less fear. So I'm noticing all of these, I would say, historic emotions for me that were happening my whole entire life, holding me back from doing just this. I mean, from giving information of things that I have metabolized and studied my whole entire life, that I, in many realms and areas, am an authority, especially in the bodywork realm. Like, I mean, I've had a whole bodywork system that I haven't even introduced to the world come through me by the use of a 14 and 17 pound centrifugal orbital buffer used on the meridians of the body for the last 20 years. And what that does is very miraculous as well. But anyway, keep this about iTeraCare. But with the iTeraCare, it's beautiful because it's beautiful because I can feel it shifting my deep, latent emotional states. I mean, shifting, like, we're talking subconscious emotional programs that have been running historically are no longer there. How do you computate that? But I can tell you, now I use the professional for an hour, maybe 2 hours a day. And I'll do videos showing you some of these routines that you can do laying down, so you can do an hour with the tool at minimal effort. Like minimal effort to run it on your body, put yourself in different positions, hit all your organ systems, hit all your meridians, hit everything. And then you get up and you feel like you just made love. I mean, it's fantastic. It's like my new mistress, you know? Anyway, to keep this cohesive here. So going back, let's get back to the emotions. And I go on tangents here and there now, but back to emotions. Okay, so In Chinese medicine, and this is information from thousands of years that has been handed down and understood and observed. You know, we're 200 years old here in America. We're still, we're still having our diapers changed by somebody as far as a country and mentality go. Whereas China, it's 5,000 years. These guys, 6,000 years, these guys have been observing this. Ayurveda, 8,000 years. I mean, they're even older on the planet in historic records than we are. And so, we get to look at that information from the past, because the past information will typically, in this ego mindset, produce your modern day reality. Okay, so we get to look to these ancient cultures, as we have now with the iTeraCare, ancient culture of China, sharing all the information with us, and creating this tool for us to use to balance and harmonize ourselves using the meridian passageways and much more technology from Tesla, as you know, and all that, going in and shifting and moving the latent energies. I personally like to use the tool when I'm using it. I like to imagine the white light of Christ. I mean, the healing, I can't say that word. I imagine the light of Christ, the white light of universe and creator, coming out of that wand as it's going over my body. And I love to feel it entering into deeper latent parts of my body. I can feel as I lay there, when I go into the deep sense of mindful attunement of myself with this tool, really with my eyes closed, feeling and sensing what's happening underneath the skin, whether it be centimeters, millimeters, or even an inch down to the organs. And then I feel other lines of my body release as a result of me working something up in my chest. I feel my legs release. It's like, whoa. So I'm feeling the deep energy. This is moving, okay? Who can say really what it does? I'm not able to say what it really does. But I will share with you that you're gonna feel amazing. So I like to imagine the white light of Christ, or some elevated beings, a powerful energy unknown to the universe, coming out of this wand and like washing over my body, and that white light just washing through all my muscles and bones and organs, and I see all the things that are not the white light flushing out. Use your imagination with these tools. Very, very powerful. I mean, if we can create universes and worlds and products with our mind, obviously we can create amazing, magnificent experiences of a very harmonizing, balancing, homeostasis returning, alchemizing, and other fashions that come with these tools as a result of using these on our bodies. And trademarkly, what you get: happiness, joy, feelings of making love, if you will, peace, deep, 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 deep peace. And I love that that's actually the result, the fact of this. Getting back to the emotions and how to watch your emotions. Okay, and keep it very succinct here. If you're dealing with sadness and grief, and you can feel sadness, those of you who are sad historically by nature, so that in Chinese medicine correlates to the lungs. And I have been a very sad, grieving person my whole life. You can even hear in my voice that my voice sounds a little subdued. Even though it's out and strong, it is subdued. Now I'm working with that, and it's getting much better all the time. But sadness and grief, you can cue into your lungs. So if you are trademarking in those emotions, or historically in those emotions, you'd want to work your lung channel. You'd also want to work your kidney channel. Because in Chinese medicine, the kidneys of the body, they are considered to be the battery packs, okay? So if any of your other emotions are in excess, rage, anger, that type thing, that's excess, okay? Or in deficiency, as in depression is a deficient state that happens in the body. That's a whole separate topic, but that's a depressive element, right? So we want to address the underlying emotions and how they affect the organs, and use the iTeraCare on these meridians and on the organs to move those energies, to restore a lightness, to restore an effervescency to the organ, to see the white light coming out and through the organ, and removing everything that's not white in there. Everything is not light. We want to remove that, okay? So you can shift that out with your imagination, with a tool, whatever you need, okay? So sadness and grief, the lungs. So you want to treat the actual lungs and the lung channel. I would say you're going to want to treat the kidneys, because again, the kidneys, they hold the basin for the lungs. So you want to treat the actual kidneys and treat the kidney channel if there's sadness. So now we're starting to develop a where to use it due to just watching your emotions. Okay. When it comes to anger is coming in next to address, and I got hit with a car door last night in the dark with a friend, and I was very committed to moving, and I seem to bang my third eye a lot. This helps me let go of my looking good conversation, which in order to evolve, we have to let go of a lot of conversations, and so this is just my way of doing it. So back to anger, okay? Because anger is a very, very common thing with most people. Anger is a beautiful emotion. It's a beautiful tool, if you will, because anger will get stuff done. When you're stuck in a pattern, you're stuck in depression, and you finally get out of that, and you get angry, it'll shift the energy emotionally, okay? So when it comes to anger, that's going to be a liver gallbladder. You want to look to the liver gallbladder organs and meridians when you are feeling that, to shift that energy, okay, because that's just a lot of times also energy stuck in the liver. And here's where yoga and that type thing, there's many poses in yoga that I could show you that relieve liver stagnation and relieve depression. Taking a hot bath is another way of relieving depression and shifting that, because in the water you're buoyant, so it actually makes you feel lighter on all levels in your mind. So that's really wonderful to use water and salts, and be within the venue of water, which water correlates to the kidneys, and so now you're strengthening the emotion of the kidneys, of being at peace and supported, and that's just really beautiful too. So with anger, those are suggestions for the anger of other things to do, and depression, other things to do. And then coming back to utilizing the iTeraCare, you definitely want to work on the liver, gallbladder organs, and those associated meridians. Rage, same thing. That's a gallbladder situation. And, in America, we have such, from birth, fast food, high, fatty diets of omega-6s and hardly any omega-3s, and arteries getting jammed up in our food supply and all that stuff, right? So that pens up the liver and challenges the heart, that type of diet. So diet modification is necessary, but back to here, using the iTeraCare, that's where you're going to want to use it on the gallbladder channels. You're going to want to lay down in your bed, put your leg over, use a tool comfortably behind you in bed, go into your hips, because the gallbladder, the main point, well, they're all over the body, but in the hips are major gallbladder points. And all throughout the sacrum, the whole gallbladder channel goes throughout the whole back of all the glutes and all the IT bands around the hip and down the leg. That type thing. So you're going to want to, I found, laying in bed and just bring the leg over a little bit and putting the tool behind me comfortably and using over the back of the hips and all down the hips and the sides of the legs, and then into the lower back and into the kidneys is a really beautiful way to utilize the device to get into the gallbladder channel. This is also gallbladder here, and coming into the back of the neck and then coming around the ears. Okay, so if there's a lot of rage, you want to cool the body down. This is a heating unit, but like this point right here, if you come down, this is a gallbladder point right here. And what this does, that point releases energy to go back down into the body from Chinese medicine. If you refer to your visual 3D acupuncture app on your phone, which I highly encourage everybody to download and start working with, you can look at the gallbladder channel and see that. And then when you press on the screen that says functions, you'll see releases energy to go down the body and relieves heat. So and anger and rage are very heated emotions, right? It's a lot of heat and energy. Well, heat rises in the Chinese medicine model to disturb the mind and the head. Okay, so we want to reduce that. Like you can see me, I can see myself getting flushed right now. Well, I'm in my van, the air is off, the sun is out. I'm in Florida, it's summertime, but it's quiet, and I wanted to make this video. But example of heat rising, right? You see the redness in my face. So this is blood and heat that's rising due to me being in here and starting to sweat. So, which is beautiful because my body is detoxing. Right? And so example, so using the tool will start to move this. See, different points do different things. This is why I'm also sharing everybody to get this app and start reading about the points, because now you get to understand your body at such a deep, powerful level. No, this point makes energy go down. Spleen 6 in your foot allows energy to come up if it's not coming up in the inside yin channels. I would love for everybody to have such an incredible grasp on their bodies and how these things work. Like the Chinese medical model is really one of the only operating manuals that we have really for how the dynamic of the body works. So let's utilize it. We have a fantastic tool to be able to shift and move the energies. So let's use the manual, okay? Understand yourself, know yourself. From the agnostic point of view, to know thyself is absolutely the motto to everything, to shifting everything. Because if you don't know yourself, you're a ship in the middle of the ocean in a storm with no sails, getting tossed around. And if you know yourself, you can fashion another sail. You know, you can get yourself collectively, you know, into a good space out of a perilous situation if you know yourself. So all this is really about knowing thyself. This is what the whole inside path with yoga is all about, and meditation. It's going in. That's where your guidance is, going in. And this tool, the iTeraCare, closing your eyes, using it very slowly, you can do that. You can go in. You can feel all these things I'm sharing with you yourself, okay? You have that ability and power to feel and sense, as I do and others do. I'm not special. I'm just somebody who spent a lot of time going in. No different than you, okay? So, anger and rage, liver, gallbladder, address those organs, address those meridians. That's how you know that you're out of balance in those organs, when your emotions are that way, okay? Worry, oh, that's a big one, worry. So worry is associated with the spleen in Chinese medicine, okay? The spleen's job is to transmute and to transport food after it goes in and is broken down. It also is the strength of power in your limbs, clarity in your mind, focus in your mind. When that's off, your spleen is off, and you will worry. And you will be overweight, or you'll be very underweight and you can't gain weight. Usually it's overweight in America. So addressing the spleen channel and addressing the spleen, which is next to your stomach, the left-hand side of your rib cage, underneath the rib cage, your stomach, spleen, pancreas, all that is in that area. So treating just that whole area, if you're a worrier, and working the spleen meridian, because that's going to be what's going to just need to be worked on if you have the emotion of worry. You're also going to want to work your kidneys, because worrying takes energy from the kidneys. Now the kidneys, okay, let's just say worrying takes energy from the kidneys, so you're going to want to work the kidney channel as well as the spleen channel, as well as the actual kidneys and spleen of your body if you're a worrier. Worrier is very close to warrior. So, but anyway, if you're a worrier, work it in this fashion. Small intestine. This is a little bit of a trickier one. Small intestine is basically from all around your belly button and your whole abdominal cavity, and then the large intestine gets wrapped around it at the basically underneath the rib cage and on both sides of the rib cage going down. So the small intestine, it's trademarkly. You'd want to use your wand on the small intestine. Courage. If you're not a courageous person, or you don't have a courageous personality, courage is the emotion that is attributed to the small intestine, okay? Bravery, courage, like all that comes from a strong, like, gut, and, you know, you're metabolizing your food really well, and it's, you know, you're strong in your body, right? And when you're feeling that good and strong, nothing can challenge you. You have a ton of courage and a ton of bravery, right? Like, that's when your body's working really well. So when the small intestine is not working well, we lack courage, we lack fortitude, the ability to handle life's situations with ease, with trust and connection and knowing, right? All that gets on the wavery side when the small intestine's off. So that's a way to watch your emotions. If you're in that, if you're in like the victim mode, right? Like people, victim is a big trademark archetype emotion to watch. Well, that victimhood probably, I would say for me, in my opinion, goes back to the gut not working strong and the small intestine not working strong. If it was, you'd have a ton of energy, power, focus, clarity, right? Like that. So that's a strong working small intestine. Boom, baby. So yeah, so if you're in that emotion, work the small intestine. Large intestine, if you got a problem letting deep go, large intestine. Who doesn't have a problem letting deep go? Used to have this cute sign over the toilet of the spiritual center that myself and my ex-wife used to own. And it was a picture of Buddha on the toilet. And the caption was, let that S-H-T go. Here's Buddha on the toilet. Oh my God, it was so funny and classic. So anyway, large intestine's all about letting go or not able to be letting go, okay? So, you know, when you're in that emotion, work the large intestine channel, work the large intestine, drink the water, because the treated water that's getting transformed and charged with terahertz, like that valuable energy that we're all working with, healthy cell vitality in the water, as well as restructuring the water so it reduces the water clumping so it can actually get into the cells, and it always tastes better after you treat it. That kind of thing, verified 100 times over again by everybody. That helps to actually get to the cells, and actually the small intestine, I believe, I remember correctly, plays a role, plays a role in not distracting, but pulling water molecules out and putting it into the large intestine. So that small intestine, that's why I say the food goes through your stomach first, into your stomach, then into your small intestine, then releases into the large intestine. Well, it goes through 6 or 8 feet of small intestine, I think it is, before it goes to the large intestine. But it's the small intestine's job and role to be that regulator of allowing that water and giving it to the large intestine. So you start to really see how that small intestine's not working really well. The large intestine's not working well. You're not getting the nutrients and the vitamins pulled out, because that's a Western medicine understanding of what it does. It pulls out the vitamins, nutrients, out of that small intestine and gives it to the body. So that small intestine is really, really important. I just forgot about that link back to the large intestine with the water osmotically moving from one section of the body to the other. That's the small intestine's job, to help you let that eep go, right? So it's like you're seeing how this is all coming together now. I can't give recommendations of things for organs beyond just how to use, so that's a different thing. But there are things for small intestine, there are things for the large intestine that can draw more water, push things. That's a whole other conversation for the other side of things that I love to do with people. So, can't let stuff go, work the large intestine, organ itself, drink a lot more of this water, work the large intestine channel, work the small intestine, obviously, if you're having problems letting things go, small intestine channel on your body. What else? Kidneys, the most magical, amazing thing ever. Oh my God. So in Chinese medicine, 22 minutes. Sorry, Ricky, went past the 5 mark. So now when it comes to the kidneys in Chinese medicine are considered to be the battery packs of the body, okay? So whenever any organ, whenever you worry, whenever you get angry, whenever you get fearful, whenever you go into rage, whenever you go into sadness, whenever you go into victimhood, whenever you go into depression, all that excessive or depressive, out of harmony and balance emotions that occur, every one of those actually takes energy from the mother kidneys, from the battery pack of the kidneys. Anytime you're not in peace and you're either raised or depressed in energy, your intelligent body knows to take energy from your kidneys. So is it any wonder we have so much diabetes in this country? And because diabetes is a disease that affects the kidneys, right? Well, now you know that all the fear and all that stuff, COVID, all that stuff, well, everybody's kidneys have been getting attacked, literally attacked and drained, okay? A lot on top of that, let's just put a whole lot of corn syrup and, and sugar and all that overcharges the system, and also, gives the kidneys a lot of challenge to have to deal with. It's not too hard to make your mind understand why everybody's having problems with their kidneys and going into dialysis and other types of things, right? And now that you know that all your excess and depressive emotions take energy from your kidneys, you know what I'm saying? So we get to treat the kidney channel a lot. Like every day, twice a day. Treat that baby a lot. Give it a lot of love, okay? Because it's supporting everything else in the body. Everything. Everything takes energy from those mother kidneys. So treat your kidney channel every time you treat yourself, and notice a whole lot more available for you. Well, now that I'm a very hot, sweaty mess in the back of my van making this video, I think I'm going to end this. And everybody, thank you so much. I hope this helps. Bye now.